Hello everyone, my name is Colton Davis and welcome to the Kalulu Show. Basically, this used to be a YouTube channel for gaming a little while back, but I decided to change it up. I'm going more of the podcast route at the moment. I'm more curious about talking about the modern day issues and kind of let people know about it. I believe a lot of people actually don't truly understand what's going on in modern day society, and that's kind of what sparked this idea of this series. However, with that being said, this is going to be a summary because the full length video, the one I would like you to listen to, is going to be on Rumble. And the reason why I'm going to keep it as more of a summary here on YouTube is due to the fact that there might be some material in these topics that YouTube will not like. Which means these are going to be very, very short episodes, unfortunately. If you want the full story, the full thing, do go ahead and check it out on Rumble. I also want to mention that these will always be opinion pieces, because the information I get for these things come from niche areas of the internet. Not always niche, sometimes they are from major sources. But for the most part, I have to look in just about every situation to get as much data as I can, thus makes me even question the validity of all these things. I'm more so just reading things and then telling you what my opinion of them are on this channel. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So, the last episode I did was on Rumble. It was the full length, around 1 hour and 49 minutes or so. And I was talking about our world today. How did we get to where we are now? Well, basically, we got here from various things. Deal with the economy, culture, as well as the work quality, what's currently happening in our country. Inflation's a good example here. So inflation has definitely went up. Your value of your dollar is essentially non-existent at this point. To buy a meal, essentially, if you find a cheap one, it's going to cost you $6, which is almost an hour's worth of pay for many people. And if you buy a decent one, even at a fast food restaurant, it's easily going to go over an average hour worth of pay. This is due to the fact that the value of food is actually increasing as well. With inflation being on that factor, this is also going to make other things get more expensive as well, though. Utilities, electricity, gas, even your like trash and water will eventually go up. And we're kind of already seeing that in some areas of this nation. But at the same time, we're also looking at the fact that your wealth is being stagnated, your income is being stagnated. This is due to neoliberalism as well as globalization, which we'll talk about at the end of this video. But before I get too far ahead, let's go ahead and talk about the price of food a bit more to explain why it's increasing at such a rate that it is. And I'll sum it in just 3 points. One, inflation has a direct relation to the price of food. As inflation gets worse, your price of food will also increase. And of course, two, there are various conflicts happening all around the world right now. Some are militarily, others are economically, and a few are even culturally, which is causing the issue with the production of food. As food is reduced in production, the value of it will go up. And three, the final thing is importing of goods. The United States does relatively well at this. They only import about 15% of their food. But even then, it's going to have a factor, and it will increase the value of food as well. And I guess I can add a fourth point real quick. Winter is coming. As winter gets closer, the amount of food that is produced is going to go down, and thus is going to increase the value of food as well. I highly recommend that y'all stock up now if you haven't already. I know Thanksgiving's coming by and you're going to want to get food just for that, but maybe, save a little bit for yourselves, because I have a gut feeling that this year is going to be pretty bad. Another thing I want to mention is the price of gas. We saw a little while ago that the price of gas got better for a short period of time, but it looks like it's already getting back up in value. A little bit of this, just like price of food, is because of inflation. As your dollar goes down, the price of goods around you will go up, and this includes gas. Another thing is that we don't produce a lot of our gas here in the United States. I mean, we do produce a lot of it, but we need to produce even more of it here. We do import way too much gas from other nations. I believe right now we're currently importing from Venezuela. Not a very good choice. Even if we could just start importing from nations that are closer to us, such as Canada or Mexico, this will reduce the price of gas alone. Another thing I want to talk about, other than the economy, is that we kind of have a national divide right now between the north and the south, the left and the right, etc. A lot of people have political and cultural differences, as well as different morals and values, which are causing major strife, and it's making it harder to get things done. Without a uniformed country, it's going to be harder for us to fix all these issues. For example, how we handle inflation. I just now mentioned the economics. One side believes the government should magically pull up a solution, essentially out of its butt, while the other side believes that should be a logical way to produce the resources needed to decrease inflation. I'm not going to go into detail there because obviously YouTube would not like me going into detail there. But basically, that's what's going on. If we can't even agree with all these culture aspects of our life, we're not going to be able to produce the things we need to lower the price of inflation. Now, going into the last couple segments here, we're going to talk about work culture a little bit. Not going to go into as much detail as I did with the Rumble video, but work culture is another thing which is causing our nation to go down pretty hard. As you've seen, not many young people are getting jobs, and it's technically old people as well. I did not mention this in the Rumble video, so I'll mention it now. Across the board, less and less people are actually working for longer and longer periods of time, although it is more so on the younger population, but technically all populations this is affecting. It's affecting all age groups, but more so on the youthful side of things. And I believe a lot of this has to do with the quality of work has definitely dropped down over the years, as well as company loyalty. And for our very last segment, high productivity and low pay. So basically, you've probably noticed if you've worked for any company for any amount of time that there is a high productive or a high desire for a high productive workplace. And this is fine. There should be high productivity, in my opinion, in any workplace. The issue is, though, it's also advertised with low pay. So, what this happens, and this has kind of shown up since the 1970s that this kind of started. This was also around the same time that neoliberalism as well as globalization came into a factor. And I believe they both have a correlation to each other on why it got this way. Like I stated, you're going to have to check out the Rumble version though to get the full story there, because I have a feeling YouTube will not like me talking about it here. Plus, Rumble's better. I mean, come on, guys. The UI needs work, but you're going to get better and more accurate stories from Rumble right now, because there's not much censorship. Other than that, that's about all I can really state. That's the summary. I mean, watch it on Rumble. Like, comment, and subscribe. I will try to do something unique in the future, though, for YouTube specifically, because I do get that the idea of a podcast probably isn't as desirable for YouTube as it would be on Rumble. And not just that, it seems that I can't really talk about as much stuff as I would want to here as I could over there. So in the future, I'll think about something unique to do with YouTube, but for now, this is just going to be how it's going to work. And I just now noticed one of my dudes are not animated correctly. Whoops. His leg's not moving. I don't know how I made that mistake, but yeah. Anyway, please like, comment, subscribe. Get in a debate with me down in the comment section below. And I'll see y'all in the next one.